everyone. It's just the Tip Tuesday. I'm here to help talk about Shavasana because it's literally my favorite pose. And honestly, I believe that just a few minutes of really good rest goes a long way. So hopefully you're getting Shavasana in your classes when we're practicing, and I know it can sometimes be this thing that slips past us or only gets like a snip of time. So I thought, why not figure out some ways in which we can really settle into that deeper rest. And you can use as little as like 2 blocks or a blanket. If you have been to any of my restorative classes or any classes in which we use blanket, I have a very particular fold to this, but we just want to get it down to, you know, a decent size where you can fit, fold over, okay? And then it can rest on your mat. The idea is that it can rest behind the tops of your shoulders, because the way our humerus bone settles into our shoulders, there's a slight forward rest of them. And so we get the blanket just underneath, maybe like the top of the fingertips, behind the trapezies, and then your trapeze muscles at the top, and then something to kind of help you elongate the neck. And so you're really imagining yourself like triple chinning out on your back, trying to find length. And so it's not a hard tuck in, but like a settle back into a headrest almost. If I'm very short, so like headrests don't really work for me, but on my mat they do. So we've got a couple of props here, and ideally what I like to do is just have this resting for myself at the back of my mat, and you can even tuck it into like a little pillow to help encourage rest. And then when I lay down on my back, I like to kind of extend so let's see, I just adjust this a little bit, so just a little underneath the shoulders here, and then taking the blocks out about an arm's length, kind of reach them away, turn them on their flattest side, and scoot them in. And the idea is that if we can get our wrists slightly elevated above our elbows, oh my God, I could just stay here forever. Helps encourage this parasympathetic nervous system, our ability to move into rest and digest a little bit, just a little bit better. So it feels a little deeper and a little bit more ease. And so we're just encouraging ourselves to find that rest space. And then you can even draw the blanket up the back of your head, the round spot. Man, I don't know if you have like a flat spot. There's a spot beneath the back of your head, behind the occiput, that's a little bit flat, the base of that skull. And that's kind of what you're trying to get rested on the blanket. So you can even draw that blanket, tuck it in a little bit. If you're getting, real fancy, you can tuck and roll the blanket around you. It's like a little hug for your head. And yeah. So you can roll that, or you could just leave it completely flat out, but just these few things here. See you guys later is what I'm going to suggest, that you go to a place anywhere you practice. If you don't have blocks, books are a great place to create that slight elevation of the wrist. And so the elbows are rested, my shoulders are rested, my head and neck are supported. There's a micro tuck in my chin, but it's more like I'm taking the back of my head and easing it into the ground and the blanket, and kind of letting the ground come up to meet me with the support of the blanket. So you can do this at home, play around with it in class, any props, and I think that's it for now. So.